All right, you guys, I'm not going to make this a super long video. And you're kind of looking at the pillows on my couch because this is where I'm sitting. But the past couple of days, I've done a couple of lives, and I didn't really expect them to turn into like everything they've turned into, but it's just brought up a lot of questions and a lot of conversation. And sometimes it's just easier for me to make a video and talk to you guys than respond, to all of the comments. So I think this video will help respond to several people's comments and it should make it like super easy. Hey, Jessica. Yeah, I'm live. I'm just, my pillow is I guess what y'all are going to look at. But anyway, oh, sorry about that, you guys. I don't know what happened. Okay, so anyway, I did a video uh, regarding Black female YouTubers that I love but disagree with. And one of those YouTubers was Chrissy. And I expressed that I love Divine Dark Skin magazine, love the Facebook page, love her femininity series, but that I thought it was a bit odd to promote interracial dating to women who are struggling with the effects of colorism. And that's where I really don't vibe with Chrissy. And so I think Chrissy gets a lot of criticism for promoting interracial dating. And there are talking points that other people use. And so I think when I made that comment, people assumed that even though I didn't go into a lot of depth as to why I felt that way, they assumed I felt that way because of the reasons that other people feel that way. So I'm going to go ahead and express like my personal feelings regarding this. I am a mother, okay? I am a mother with children who are biracial. And I have been a mother for Javier, how old are you? 24, 25? How old are you? Oh, he's 23. Y'all, that's what happens when you have a lot of kids. You don't know anybody's age. Okay. So I've been a mother for 23 years. He will be 24 in a couple of months. So 24 years, we can say I have been a mother. And so I, when I talk about promotion of interracial dating and how I feel it is wrong to promote dating based on trauma or self hate, I am speaking as a mother. And let me express what I mean. If you are struggling with the dynamic between dark skinned women and mixed or light skinned women, if you have negative feelings about your color or confusion about your color, like maybe you started out with negative feelings about your color and you're trying to grow to a place of feeling empowered and beautiful despite what society says about you, then I would have a concern because so many of our people, when they date out, it's not because they found an amazing person they love that happens to be of a different race. A lot of our people date out because Black men aren't shit, Black women are masculine. I don't want a child with dark skin. Hey, Kevin, a lot of our people date out for reasons of what I would call self hate and trauma. And so, to me, as a mother, if you feel some kind of way about light skinned people, if you feel really strongly and negatively about the dynamic between light, mixed, biracial, racially ambiguous women and Black women, then I just feel that if you birthed a light skinned woman into this world, it might affect your parenting. Straight up. It could affect how you treat your child, be that superiorly or inferiorly. It could affect how you feel about yourself. It could create an environment where both the mother and the child are not part of a healthy parental and child dynamic. And I do not promote in a platform like YouTube, where there are all different kinds of women in an area who are struggling and fighting back against strong feelings, often very negative feelings that they have regarding colorism, people who elevate themselves above them, or the erasure of their race. I think that it is careless to promote widely to these women that they should simply date out because Black men aren't crap, because, they should not limit their options, which, okay, don't limit your options, that's fine. But don't date out because of color and then think that it's just going to be totally okay and there's not going to be any weirdness when you birth a child that has the very skin complexion that is problematic for you. I think those sorts of struggles can interfere with parenting. Okay? That is my personal feeling. I'm not trying to tell people what to do. Everybody is obviously open to do what they want to do. I don't have control over people's reproduction, but I feel I would be irresponsible, right? If in these conversations, just like people voice their opinions, I'm going to voice mine, which is that we have homes where white women feel some kind of way when their kids come out with kinky hair. Why would you lay down and reproduce with a Black person if you don't like kinky hair? We saw those YouTubers recently where that chick was upset because her baby didn't have pretty eyes. Why would you lay down and reproduce with somebody with brown eyes if you're going to feel some kind of way if your child comes out dark skinned with dark eyes? Same thing works for Black people. If you're going to feel some kind of way when you get a daughter, because I have brown eyes, right? But I obviously carry a recessive gene because I have a daughter with green eyes. And when she was born, her eyes were blue. If I feel some kind of way about that phenotype, it will affect my motherhood. And so people can do whatever they want to do. But I feel as a woman, we have to not make choices from trauma and hurt and hatred of Black men. We have to think about if we are going to be mothers. And if you choose not to be a mother, that's perfectly fine. I'm not shaming people who don't want to have kids. But I definitely want to be clear that when I was saying my problem with mass promotion of interracial dating, that Chrissy does, just a blanket date out approach to interracial dating for a variety of reasons, all of which are not necessarily healthy reasons. It's not for the normal talking points that other people make. It's not because I think Black women shouldn't, breed the very people that are going to replace them. It's not because I think it perpetuates colorism. Those are not my talking points. I am speaking as a woman who has a lot of kids. I have a lot of children, y'all. I'm not young. A woman who has been a mother for going on 24 years at this point. And I am speaking from a place of understanding what it is like to raise children who don't look like you, how society views that, how people come at you, both online and in the real world. And I am saying that there are real challenges there already. And if you add to that, you're in your own feelings, you may not be the best mother you could be. And so then I think it is irresponsible to massively promote to a room full of people you don't personally know, a room full of people who have traumas that you don't understand, a room full of people who have varying levels of mindsets and are capable of, varying levels of assimilation of what you're saying. A blanket approach to anything. And I stand by that. And that can just be an area that I may disagree, other people may disagree with me on, and it's okay for us to disagree. But I wanted to be very clear on why that is my stance, and that the assumptions of why I feel that way are very much incorrect. And it wasn't just one person who made assumptions as to why I was saying that, lots of people did. So maybe you haven't heard this particular talking point before, but let's be clear on this is why it's Irene's talking point, okay? And my feelings on this situation have nothing to do with erasure, have nothing to do with, anything other than wanting to see Black women be mentally healthy and successful mothers. And I think as a mother of 24 years who has successfully raised children into adulthood and who has biracial children, I am in a position to talk about the fact that Black women need to consider these things prior to reproducing children that are mixed. That we need to be responsible and not just carelessly promote interracial dating blanketly to our community as if everybody's going to engage in that behavior in a healthy way. And not to dick or vagina police anybody, but to not be careless and irresponsible with our platforms. Period. And we all don't have to agree on that. But that is where I stand with these things. I think women in general, but oh, hey, Rukia. Rukia, I was saying, I don't know if you read my uh uh I don't know if you read my message, but maybe next week, if you're open to it, because I don't know if you're open to it and you don't have to show yourself, we could just do like a live where we actually have a chance to talk to each other. Because I feel like sometimes you guys, and I think actually maybe it's a blessing in disguise that Google ended Google Hangouts, because I think Zoom is a more accessible way to involve more people from the chat, and that it will give us an opportunity with anonymity, because everybody doesn't want people to have their email address, for us to be able to actually talk to each other, because we get into some deep conversations in the chat room and in the comment section of the videos. And sometimes it's just easier to be able to talk to you guys, because honestly, I feel like I'm always talking at you guys. And I hate that because it's a two-way conversation. And that's sometimes it's really hard to have when we're just typing words at each other. Rukia, I'm not saying it's you or Chrissy, because you aren't the only person that commented. I'm saying I'm addressing like all of the comments and my personal like where I stand. Let's see. Am I admitting Black women despise Black men? You quote too. No, I'm not admitting that. All Black women are not the same. Period. So some Black women may despise Black men. Some Black men may despise Black women. All of us are not the same. Everybody's not the same. That's the point, the moral of this story. Everybody is different. What works for me may not work for the next woman. What works for one man's not going to work for the next man. So we cannot have a blanket approach. That's what I'm saying. Well, it's not that none of us should speak on any topic. It's that we should be responsible with our platforms. Now, people can choose to be irresponsible with their platforms. I can't make anybody be responsible. Some people could argue that some of the things I say are irresponsible, but the thing is that it's still my opinion. We might have to disagree, and that's fine. But I wanted to be clear on where I stand on this and why I stand on it. And I found that a lot of people, not one person, but several people assumed they understood why I was making the argument when my argument has had nothing to do with what anybody was saying. So I just thought it would be easier for me to come up here and explain it directly. Let's see. Well, not just Black women, Adam, all women who are going to be mothers should consider how well they're going to be able to parent the child that they give birth to. Like all women need to do that, not just Black women. Oh, okay. Let me screenshot it, Rukia. Hold on. Okay. So I'll email you sometime next week. So, anyway, I just wanted to be clear on that. So, let me just go ahead and I just want to reiterate it just one more time. For me, um, I made this reference to Chrissy, but this isn't even about Chrissy. I've said this on my channel on a video solely about interracial dating. But especially when we're speaking to Black women and mothers who are in a space that is highly charged, where we are talking about colorism and we are talking about the erasure of Black female representation and beauty and the replacement of Black women with racially ambiguous women and mixed women. And even light skinned women, like when we are having conversations like that, and somebody goes, well, just date out. Do you know what I mean? Maybe you don't want to reproduce a child that looks like you because, life is going to be harder for them if they have dark skin. Maybe, you feel some kind of way about Black men, so you date out because of how you feel about Black men. Maybe, whatever the reason is, do you know what I'm saying? Whatever the reason is, if it is rooted in negativity, then that would be an unhealthy reason in my thought process to date out and then reproduce a light child, a mixed child. And the reason I feel it would be unwise is because you have to be a mother to that child. And if your motherhood is going to be affected because you feel some kind of way about skin color, then that would be a really, really detrimental choice. And we see the perpetuation of colorism oftentimes, and the men have their part in it, but let me just speak to the women because I am a woman. We see the perpetuation of colorism oftentimes because women act real funny with children. Women will make bad comments about a little girl's hair as mothers when they're young. Women will often comment on little girls' skin color as mothers. Women will often wish in their hearts their children had different features. And whether we realize it or not, our internal struggles affect our parenting. Just real talk. And as a mother of multiple children who has decades of experience as a mother, I think one of my little ones is about to walk in the house right now, actually. Um, I think that I think about that when I hear a conversation riddled with anger and hurt. When I hear a conversation riddled with anger and hurt, and then piggybacking that is just date out. Do you know what I mean? Black men are crap. Just date out. You know, are you okay? Okay, don't take your shoes off. Just go potty. Just go potty. Run. Ah, okay. So anyway, if if you sorry, my son had to potty and I make them take their shoes off when they come in the house. And he was trying to take his shoes off. I'm like, just run and potty. We don't need any accidents because he's only 4. That's crazy, right? There is like a 20-year age gap between my youngest and my eldest child. But anyway, um, I not it's the interracial dating, then she should exclude women like you, sis, which she doesn't. No, again, me personally, okay, so let's be clear. It's not that I don't vibe with Chrissy because I like a lot of the work Chrissy does. I don't vibe with this one particular issue, okay? Divine Dark Skin magazine, her femininity series, and all of those things, black skin, promotion, all of those things are separate from my feelings about interracial dating and her promotion of that in the context that she promotes it. So it's not all one big thing. These are separate issues. So I want complete separation between my feelings about dark skin female promotion and Divine Dark Skin magazine and all of that. I want all of that to go to another room because my feelings on her stance of interracial dating and how she promotes it and whether I think she's responsible in her behavior is totally separate from my feelings about the other things that she talks about. It's not like a big melting pot. I can agree with part of what she says and disagree with another part of what she says. So they're two like separate things. And I just want to make that like really, really clear. Also, Vladimir, I'm not young. I'm old enough to have a 24-year-old. But for me, it's not about Imhala said dark skin representation, but promote interracial dating, which creates mixed women they complain about. That's not my problem though, Imhala. That's not my problem. My problem is that are we positive when we're promoting in a space where women are coming because they want to be around other dark skinned women, because they are struggling and have negative feelings about the colorist dynamic of Black society and society on the whole, in a space like that, if we tell women to produce light-skinned children, how many of those women can successfully parent those children? Is there going to be some sort of issue for that woman? Is it going to be a detriment to the mother or the child? Because sometimes if you have a dark-skinned child, if you feel negatively about dark skin, you will treat your child differently. You may say some crazy things to your dark-skinned child because you really don't like dark skin. If you have a light-skinned child and you feel some kind of way about light skin, that will affect your parenting. And I just think that I really encourage women to stop and think outside of, it's going to be hard to find a good Black man. Think outside of, white men, provide more security. Think outside of, I don't want to have a child that looks like me because life is so hard for me, which is essentially saying you want to erase your color. Think outside of that and try to not make dating decisions based on trauma and hurt. Trauma and hurt are not a good foundation for a family. Trauma and hurt are not a good foundation for motherhood. Trauma and hurt is not how we build healthy children and strong women. We don't use trauma and hurt as a foundation. Trauma and hurt are something to be overcome.
Emma just invited us to a birthday party, which is lit. Will you come and watch us?
Like in her house? Okay, then you guys have to come back inside and get dressed. Okay, so I told you guys that my new place is in is a condominium. That's what they call them, but it's really like a townhome. And the cul-de-sac, there are like two cul-de-sacs, and our cul-de-sac is filled, and I mean it is filled with children. No, bring Christian too. Our cul-de-sac is filled with children, and my kids just got randomly invited to a birthday party. Sir, I gotta go because I'm gonna. I don't know. You have a lot of dresses, but you can show me. Move fast. So I gotta go live my life and change all my kids' clothes out of their play clothes into some birthday clothes so that they can go enjoy this party. But anyway, I say this with love. You can do what you want to do. I'm not trying to tell anybody what to do. I'm not trying to limit your options. I'm not trying to do anything other than say, when you're choosing a husband and when you create children, make sure that the foundation for that is right and that it is healthy and that it is not a foundation of trauma and hurt. That's all that I'm saying. And I just want to be super clear on that, okay? No, stop. What are you doing? No, no, you're going to change. Yeah. Okay. Anyway, these kids are ready to go, and my 4-year-old is going to need my help picking out an outfit. So
I already picked out that.
you already picked out an outfit?
Yeah. Outfit for a party. I'm gonna wear this on my birthday party.
Okay. I hate that I didn't get to read all of your comments, you guys. But I'm so sorry. I I have to go. I got to do this birthday thing. But yeah, I hope you guys understand the spirit of this. It's all in love. You know, I'm not about us being divided. All of that jazz. And I'll talk to you guys later.
Now let's go outside. Mom.